So Diana, we've been watching a video on your fashion, and behind your fashion you have a philosophy.
I do.
What is that philosophy?
Well, as I've said in probably most of my interviews with you, I don't look out, shall we say, and I don't copy.
So copying different images that you've seen, popular images or favorite images, or somebody else's, sort of maybe somebody else's trend.
Right. I pretty much create through going within myself and sensing what is important to me. I don't assume what's important to another, and I think that's is an individual, shall we say. And so fabric has always had a feeling with me, thick and thin and textured and see-through, and all of these different types of fabric, and of course being a fiber designer, that was always what it was about for me. So from the fabric to the colors to the model herself, how that individual is in their realness. And that was one of the first things I did with in the modeling agency, was to bring awareness to the models, the young girls, to not look outside themselves very much, but to go within and feel the fabric, feel what a dress feels like and looks like and how it makes them feel.
Right.
And so, and then of course there's sophistication, and there's playfulness, and there's seductiveness, and there's just playfulness. There's like all these different ramifications in our personalities, and each one of us, I think, is stronger and maybe in one than we are in another. I think our body type plays a big role.
Yes, indeed. I
think color changes your inside you and outside you. Some days I could wear red, other days I simply couldn't. So I think all of these aspects make a huge difference, and it's not about all looking the same. That's what annoyed me back then, was that all the models that were being trained all looked the same. Now I understand, for a theme, you have to project and promote a certain way in say the overall presentation. Yeah. But I think that as an individual, and as each model comes out with something different on, they look different, their hair color is different, their body structure is different, and of course to put the clothes on them that suit that individual the most.
Right.
And that's what I was striving for way back then. And it was very successful. People were excited about that idea.
Well, of course.
It was like not looking all the same, and yet continuing a string of theme through the whole presentation. A line of clothing, and so yeah, that's basically where I've come from with everything I've ever made or drawn, and it was great fun. And but I think it's so important as an individual to dress as you feel from the inside. You'll be so successful at carrying that off. You don't have to perform, you don't have to become somebody else. You can be yourself, and I say be with quotes.
Right.
So that's basically where I come from with all of it.
So to recap on your fashion career, I think it started from our conversations. You tell me basically your first breath. You were enthralled, you were just captivated by wearing clothes, wearing fabric, playing with these things, and basically just expressing parts of you that like to be kind of I don't know, how would you say, you just like to try different kind of personalities on, or see what fits and what doesn't fit, and from there you you could eliminate, you know, well, I don't like that such and such fit. Anyways, we all have that kind of personality, kind of dress up when we were growing up. Yours had a very heavy fashion-oriented tinge with hats and gloves and shawls and whatnot, silk clothes. And
love those accessories.
Oh, there you go. So fast forward, and you're into your 30s, and you discovered fiber in New Zealand, and you discovered thread and yarn and fleece. That's another story in itself, but from that experience in New Zealand, you began making clothes and making fashion pieces, and you specialized in, as you just said, accessories. Those accessories took you into the marketing world of boutiques, high-end boutiques in Vancouver. And you were very successful with those, from what I hear. However, that was a lot of work, being a marketer, designer, creator, weaver, spinner, dyeing, all of these different jobs. You took them all on, and that's a very large responsibility. And then you got into Blanche Macdonald kind of by chance, by walking past their modeling agency, which you actually already were introduced when you were younger, when you did take a modeling course. Is that right? Yeah. So you got into Blanche Macdonald, and they were, for a refresher course, and you brought light and playfulness and dance to the runway, and basically, to make a long story short, Blanche Macdonald hired you as the runway teacher, and from there you taught a class or two. However, that was short-lived, because your passion was the clothes, and you were teaching other people how to wear the clothes. You weren't maybe say wearing the clothes so much, so that didn't jive with you, and so you withdrew. You continued your fashion career by making things, but and then kind of one day, as you were continuing to make clothes, you decided, I want to be a painter.
That's right. Oh my.
From right to left kind of thing. So yeah, you now we have this compilation of all these paintings of all these different women and all these different fabrics and clothing and postures, and you know, and it's just interesting to see your transition and how you brought fashion into this world, and you know, from scarves and shawls and hats and throws and things to, you know, I mean, there's 50-60 paintings that we've compiled for a video, but I mean, there's a lot more, and you continue to make these things, and they seem to be a very strong part of you. You know, you keep coming back to these fashion pieces, these women in just fantastic dress, you know, and it just shows, I think, how multifaceted you are as a person. You know, you can be all these different women. All these different women are you in a sense, and you know, and your love for fashion is just overwhelming, it seems. You know, and you look at all these pieces. I've looked at all these pieces, and none of them are, you know, okay, well, let's try this one again and again. You know, different model. It's like, no, different model, different clothes, different posture, all of them.
And different time too. Some of them are rather period looking, you know, like old-fashioned, shall we say, and that kind of thing. But you know, that's really what I'm all about, is that I might be, say, 50 years old, you know, at the time that I've done things, but I still get a feeling, you know, of the old history and some of the things that I love so much. I had wished I'd been an adult in the 1920s, in the 1910,
fantastic
1920.
Clothes, those are.
Yes, and
those were.
They were, yeah, and yet on the other hand, I'm very primitive, and I love all the different cultures and their costumes, and you know, I had found that when I go within myself, I have so many parts of me. When we were born in a certain period, we, on average, most people, I think, just go with the trends. I've never done that. I don't like trends myself. I dress according to my feelings, the weather, what mood I'm in, what color I can wear, can I wear something tight, do I want to wear something loose, long, short, it goes on and on. And that's where I have had such a glorious time with fashion. It's not about a name dropping for me. It's simply about being who you really are on the inside of you as well as the outside. And these paintings that I look at, they're all part of the journey at different times for me and feeling different parts of me. I think I could go on forever with it. I feel endless in terms of the feeling I get on the inside of me when it comes to texture and movement and color and all those different things. So these are just a few over the passing years since 1980, 70s actually, was when I really got into doing the weaving of shawls and scarves and whatnot, and that's just continued, in various forms over time. So that's really what these pieces are about. And I never stop. I'm 71 years old now, and I'm still like a little kid when it comes to, I get so excited when I see a good piece of fabric or I design one or whatever. So yeah, that's it's always been a delight for me.
Of course. It's been a delight talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fraser.